But they dropped a live stream, which they did a bunch of stuff with the music composers and a bunch of other stuff in the stream. But we're going to go to the portion of the stream which is about the gameplay and the pre-orders, which are now available. So they've got the actual pre-orders available. They talk a little bit about the business model. It is buy to play, no monthly subscription, free updates with paid DLC coming down the road in the future. So we're going to watch that section because they are showing up some of the pre-order stuff and some additional information about like the business models and things, which I haven't watched yet. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. Again, this is from yesterday's live stream. It is like a where's it at here behind my big fat head right there. It's like a 2 hour 10, 2 hour 12 minute live stream. If you want to watch the whole thing, I'll have a link below after the fact when this gets published out to YouTube. Right now we're live on YouTube and Twitch during the stream, but I will have a description to this later on if you want to go watch it at your leisure. But in the meantime, we're going to pick up at the part where they start discussing the pre-orders and other stuff, and they do a Q&A at the end of this as well, which we're going to go through and listen to. This is about 30 minutes long, so if you've got the time, strap in. We're going to go find out more information about Dune Awakening, which is coming out on May 20th, I believe.
Welcome back, and we are talking now about our business model for Dune Awakening and also the pre-orders that just went live a few hours ago. And here with me now to talk about this, I have Ole Andreas Haley, lead producer on Dune Awakening.
Hello.
Welcome,
Thank
Ole
you.
Andreas.
Thank you.
Do you want to introduce yourself to the chat quickly?
Yeah, sure. My name is Ole Andreas Haley. I've been working at Funcom for 3.5 years, started on Dune Awakening, and I'm the lead producer, as you mentioned, so I'm producing, making sure that the teams just have the information they need and make sure that they are producing at as high velocity as they can, and making sure that the game gets shipped. That's my main purpose now.
So herding cats, basically, right?
Kinda, yeah.
Herding
They're nice
cat.
cats, though. Like I was watching this
Super
stream.
nice cats.
I was watching the stream, and I mean, I love this team. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now you can find more
I
information
couldn't
at their
agree
Steam
more. I
page, Shazzer,
absolutely
so you can go
love
sign up for their
every
closed beta and
single
everything
person
over
that
there.
works for Funcom. Like, we are a fantastic team as
There's
well.
links.
We are working really hard.
There'll be links in the
But
YouTube chat
anyway,
down below. But yeah, go to their Steam
let's
page,
talk about
duneawakening.com.
our business model.
Yes,
Wanna
let's
go?
do.
Yes, we just recently had a video from Joel, but some people here might not have seen that, so maybe it's good to just.
Yeah, I can give a small little reminder or like a recap of what was discussed there. So the business model for Dune Awakening is just as Joel said it. We're not going to be releasing early access. It's going to be a full game at launch, a full launch, and then we're doing a DLC business model or the monetization model. So we're going to be releasing DLCs, and then we're going to talk a little bit about it in the pre-orders. But then there's a season pass where you can get the first 4 DLCs included.
Correct. And also, I know there was a little bit of confusion about the wording because people were like, "Oh, you do head start," so you said you don't do early access and thing. But the early access is basically what Steam calls games that get released and then like grow over time in terms of not being fully like what's the term, like feature complete in that sense, right? So they're like kind of bare bone when they get released, and then you basically finance the development by going into early access and selling the game that way. But the head start that we have basically just means you can play 5 days before the normal like orders or the normal start is
Head start
for the game,
access.
basically. So
Exactly. So yeah, it's not an early access game per se then. So I guess we can jump into some of the.
yes, we can actually go into the pre-orders. So hopefully we'll have the image on screen relatively soon. There we go. Now we have the different editions. Maybe you want to.
Yeah, we can go through them. So you'll have your standard edition, which is going to be the base game as it is, and then it includes a terrarium of Muad'Dib, which is awesome. I hope we can show that.
My favorite. That's the. Anyway, well.
This is for your house. This is a housing item.
Hopefully. And then it'll also include the Sunset Die global swatch. We can talk a little bit about swatches when we get to maybe showcase that. But yeah, we have a customization system in the game where you can customize stuff like your vehicles, you can customize your weapons, your armors, in terms of swatches, but also then different, I guess, swaps. What do you call it? Like it's a 3D model swap, basically.
Oh, skin.
Yeah, skin.
A skin.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
They have different skin.
So that's the standard edition, and then you'll have your deluxe edition, which then includes your head start, where you can play from 15th of May. So that's 5 days, getting access to the game 5 days before the official launch. And then you'll have the season pass, which includes the 4 DLCs. That they're outlined a little bit on the Steam page, I think. So we already have some information out about them. But yeah, and then you have the starter car, Batur armor, basically.
I wonder if that's a
And then you
cosmetic
have
armor
your
set, I'm
Ultimate
assuming.
Edition, which includes a Caladan Palace building set. I think maybe we have some visuals for that as well.
We do.
It looks awesome.
It does look awesome. And for those of you who are big into like the
2025,
building side of
2021
things,
film still suit, and then the
yeah,
digital
it's
artwork
pretty
and
awesome.
the digital soundtrack.
Like the housing
And then
stuff
lastly,
you
you'll
can
have your
build.
Blue Dasher Ornithopter swatch, and then the Dusk Rider Sandbike swatch. So yeah, it's
Quite a
that's
lot
it.
of stuff.
It's a lot of good stuff.
Quite a lot of stuff. Yes. We can probably go into some of the assets that we can show you, like some of the things at least. My favorites.
Oh my God.
Our favorites.
It's so cute.
It's adorable. I'm just gonna like sit in my base and look at it all day.
I might not go out. I mean,
Just stay
the
there.
worm is out there. It's dangerous. It's gonna eat you. I can just sit inside and watch
It's
this.
just the most adorable thing. What I'm a little bit sad about is the fact that you don't, because it does actually different type of animations. You don't actually see the digging down into the sand right
Yeah.
now.
So
which is
there's
super cute
it
as
does a
well.
few different things. It'll burrow down into the sand, as Natasha's saying, and it looks adorable. So it's an awesome thing to decorate your
Yeah,
your
if you
base
like
with, and your
crafting
base building and
stuff,
having your,
United, you'll
your little cribs.
probably have a
You
good
also
time.
find the Muad'Dibs in
It
the
is
open
definitely
desert,
a
of course.
crowd,
you will
like in
find
my
it in the
opinion and
world.
my experience so far in the
Yeah.
You
closed
can
beta, is it's,
theoretically
I've been approaching it
get blood, which I'm
from
still
the
a little bit.
perspective of
It, yeah.
I
mostly
don't know who made
focusing
the
on
decision, but
the
I'm still a
survival
bit
slash
bitter
crafting
about
stuff.
that,
Like the
but
storyline is fun and everything. I
it's
don't
not
give two shits about
It's
the
a choice, though.
PvP,
You don't
It's
have
a
to
choice.
kill it.
That's
I don't
true.
care.
It's a choice. Yes,
but I
you're
do
very
love
correct.
building stuff
Here we
and I
see
love
one
the
of
housing
swatches.
systems.
So
And
obviously
all the
the armor
crafting
have
of gear and
default
stuff is a lot of
colors
fun.
when you first
And the
craft them, when you first
vehicles.
get
So
them.
the crafting side
And
of
then you
things is
have
pretty awesome.
like a specific swatch
Yep.
that you can then use. Like there's tons of different color swatches.
Yeah, so
that
now
you
you're
can use.
seeing the armor with the swatch. So
Yeah,
if
the
you didn't
blueprint
apply the
system here
swatch, it would
for
look,
base building is
have the
pretty sweet
default
as
swatch on
well.
it. It would
Like
look a bit
everybody
different.
can
So this is,
contribute.
it's a
There's a
cool,
lot of
cool
really
dye
interesting
to
stuff
put
going on with the
your,
crafting
your
system.
armors.
Also good, like for a
Especially
guild, for example,
regarding
to have a
like base
specific
building and
swatch
stuff.
For sure.
they
yeah.
can like represent. Then we have an example of a vehicle swatch as well.
Also looks awesome.
The Blue
I mean,
Dasher.
I love our vehicles. Just
You like blue ornithopter specifically?
I mean, the blue one
one.
is beautiful.
Like this is
but
crafted. Like
I,
you can
I have a
craft your own
preference towards
ornithopter.
the-
It's
the
freaking
Harkonnen,
awesome.
versions, but
Same though.
because they look really, really cool.
It might or might be the reason that I'm going Harkonnen faction because of the ornithopter.
Oh,
Who knows? And here we see the building set, which is
Yeah, and this is the
really
Caladan
beautiful.
building set,
Yeah,
which
no,
is
this is-
cool.
awesome. So yeah,
Do you know which all the different pieces that are part of this building set? Do you remember? Do you know as a
oh, I don't remember.
so quite a few,
on
I
the top of
think.
my
I don't
head.
remember either, unfortunately. But there's a lot of the small
Yeah,
things.
especially
I'm not sure
considering
if
there's
it
no monthly sub
includes the
United.
actual
Like this will be an easy
walls.
game
That's
that you
what
could
I
just
was- I
dip,
I don't
dip
think the walls are
dip
included. so
in
it's
and
the-
dip
it's the
out of, kinda like
furniture
Guild Wars 2.
That's
Right.
included here.
Yeah,
So it's
right.
all of it, like the tables and the benches.
No,
and
Profound.
the
This is Funcom.
decorations and, yeah,
It's
the
That-
stuff
of
in
The,
back.
course,
they've already
the
talked a little bit
Atreides
about but the
ball
business
scene
model, but it's
down
buy to
there,
play,
like the bullfighting
free to
scene,
play,
which
Oh, man.
will of course
paid
make sense for people who
DLCs.
know the lore and
So the
who know
season
books.
pass that they're
And I
selling
think
with the
in the segment
pre-orders
before, when you
includes the
showcased
4
the base
DLCs
building, that
in the
was-
pre-order.
Was that a Chome building
But there's
set?
no monthly fee
And you can see
associated
here
with it.
there's
It's
like
buy to
different types
play.
of building sets that have been
Yes.
used as well. So
Buy to play with paid
then you
DLC.
can mix and match a little bit. So you can have your Caladan Palace building
Hector.
set in
I
your,
love
your
Hector's,
Chome building,
like
or
we're
your
riffing on the
trading style
Assassin's
buildings.
Creed
This-
thing. Is it true that if this
yeah,
game
it's gonna
doesn't
be
make for
fun building
profit,
bases with
Funcom's
you, I
gonna
think.
go bust?
All right, and now we have
We
of
gotta
course,
riff on those
the
grifter
frame
bots from
blade. So
earlier, man.
we still have our benchmark and the character creator available for free on Steam as well. If you download that and if you go through it, you can make your character for release. You will have a save file that you can then import. You can also run the benchmark to see if your hardware is up to speed to run Dune Awakening and how it will run. And if you do that, you also get this unique knife skin, the frame blade, which is basically skin for the first knife, the starter knife that you get, so you can be very stylish.
Yeah, so
Be
I've already
extra
got the
cool as you
previews
get
for this
into the
up on my
game
YouTube
and
channel,
start
but
up
if
the
you go to the
games.
character
Yes.
creator and
That's
Exactly.
cool.
It looks
the
really
profiler,
vicious. It looks really
the
deadly.
benchmark profiler
Look
on
like
Steam
all the
right
rust
now,
and
you
things.
get
Oof,
these
it's like, it
skin.
looks
That's
painful.
you get a
Yeah.
skin for that
It's a
knife.
tetanus shot you need to get before you
There's another
get
skin
stabbed
too
with
that
one
you
of
Good
get
those.
idea. Yeah, good idea. Or
that you
rabies,
get when the game goes
something like
live.
that.
Yeah, there's a battle
One
pass for this
thing to
Profound, but
mention around the DLCs that might be a question. So there's some information
or season
on the,
pass,
on
not
the
a
store
battle
page.
pass.
I
Sorry,
think you
there's
can
a
go there
season
and
pass.
look at it yourself. But yeah, there's some information about the type of stuff you can get in them.
Yes.
So cosmetics. And
So we have like first DLC is cosmetics.
So the question,
second is
what you might be
cosmetics
asking,
and
Profound, is if
stuff,
there's a
side
monthly
story, and
fee
then
associated with the
side story
season
there.
pass slash battle
like,
pass. That I
optional,
don't
like
know. I don't know if
nothing
they've
that
answered
you
that question yet,
actually need to
or if
buy
it even
need to
if it
have,
even
and then,
operates
yeah,
the
what
same way
cosmetics.
as Conan Exiles.
But yes, we
But I
can
think it's
go in.
important maybe to mention, because I think I've seen this discussed as well, is that there's no selling, we're not selling power
No,
in the DLCs.
it's not pay to win.
It's
That's
not pay
very
to win.
important to us. Yes.
And the Dune game is structured into tiers. So you'll have tiers of enemies and weapons, but none of the DLCs will sell you something that
A higher tier,
gives you a higher
basically.
tier.
Yes. So we will always have the same tiers in another area that is not that you don't have to pay for. Like
Yeah.
we will never sell you a higher tier in a DLC.
And I've seen that asked somewhere, so I just wanted to clarify
Yes.
that.
No, I think that's really great. Absolutely. So yeah, another thing that we actually were seeing here and there is like that people were a little bit afraid about Head Start and like what happens if like some of my guild members start early and I can't. Will I still be able to play on the same server, right? That's one of the things that players were a little bit concerned about. So we do actually have a little bit of an image here,
that one.
and
Yeah.
Ole Andreas can maybe elaborate a little bit on this.
Yes, we have a blog post about this topic as well, so there might be some. You can go and search it up. But basically, what you see there is the Haga Basin is where you start. There is a player cap there, but there's also a queue system, so you can. There's not like it wouldn't stop after 40 players. You can still come in later, and then queue up.
Yes.
But then, in addition to those Haga basins that are instanced there, you also have the social hubs and the deep desert, which is a shared instance between the entire world. So I don't think that should be a big concern, really. I think there will be a good chance that
So what he's saying here, to break this down into layman's terms, because I don't feel like they're explaining it that great that great here. When you start the game, everybody goes into Haga Basin. That's the starter area. Each one of the Haga Basin instances holds about 40 plus players, right? So that's an instanced area. That's where you start the game. You're going to find resources that you can harvest. That's where you craft your starter bases, so on and so forth. And you go through that zone, and eventually you make your way to Harco Village or Arakeen, which act as social hubs. If you've ever played like Destiny, Destiny has a social hub system. So when you go to the social hub, everyone is in the social hub together. But then when you go out and do the instance stuff, you're in an instance with only a certain amount of other players. So for those people worried about, getting in to the same server as your friends, as you can see on the right hand side, they've got worlds set up. So World 1, World 2, World 3, World 4. It's not really that big of a deal because you're going to be getting into a server that then has queued versions of that starter zone and then shared social hubs that's shared between the world. The Deep Desert only applies to end-game players who want to participate in the optional end game. That's the open PvP area. That's where all the PvP in the game takes place, is the Deep Desert. Everything else is PvE. There is consensual PvP between players if you want to, but otherwise it's just yeah. So hopefully that explains it a little bit better.
you'll be able to play with your friends for sure.
Yes, like basically, it's not like the Haga Basin instance that your friends start playing on will be full and you won't be able to join at
Exactly.
all. It will just potentially be a queue if it's like super busy, right?
Yes.
And then we've also seen, of course, concerns about the deep desert and how, people, how does that work?
Yeah, I think we've talked a little bit about that as well on the blog and in different videos. But yes, so the Deep Desert is a meshed 3x3 server grid. So you go there, it's the single same instance for all of the Haga basins. So when you're getting to the end game and you participate in the Lance Rad, I'm not going to go into that, but which is one of our end game systems, you might all be going to the Deep Desert fighting for the same reason or the same resources, the same territories, and then yeah, it's basically a gigantic map that's 9 times the size of Haga Basin, and you go there and you'll meet other people from other Haga Basins as well and fight over that, and it's the majority of it is PvP, so it's the bottom layer where you enter the map is where it's PvE, so you can go in there in safety, gear up, build your outpost and start getting ready, and then you can go out and you can have those PvP skirmishes out in the Deep Desert. There is some concern I think I've seen around people. Oh, what if I'm PvE player mostly?
What if I'm a Care
Can I
Bear?
still participate and go to the Deep Desert? We've seen this in the beta though. Like people who are PvE players actually go out in the Deep Desert and they still manage to lurk around and get some stuff out there.
It's dangerous.
Yes, like tip their toes basically into PvP. So it's not that scary, like as long as you don't go like where all the big guilds just fight it out and stuff. So still,
Yeah.
like there's still opportunities for like solo players specifically.
It is
as
great
well,
to be
but
a
also,
Care
like,
Bear JP.
PvE players.
I hug myself
Yes.
every night before
And
I
there's
go to
also
bed.
what I
Tell
think is
myself it's
very
going to be
cool
all
is that
right.
there's lots of different opportunities and things that
May
PvP player
20th
can
is the
actually
release date,
contribute to the
United.
launch route. It's not
And the
just
pre-orders just went
PvP.
on sale.
But more on that later,
The day
because
before
there's a lot
yesterday.
of things there too.
Yesterday? Day before
But
yesterday?
yes, I do think we have actually covered
I
most
think.
of the things that we wanted to cover before we go into the Q&A. So as I mentioned, we have been collecting some questions from chat. And while we're preparing those, we also get Jeff back in, so he can also answer some of these questions. That's of course also the reason that we have we want the questions to be in regards to the topics that we actually covered today, because we have guests on that can actually answer those questions really well, while we might get questions otherwise that these guests are not qualified to answer, right? They work in different departments, so that's also one of the reasons. So yeah, I think once Jeff is here, he's actually walking in right now.
Hello, Jeff.
Welcome back, Jeff.
Oh, hi.
All right.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Oh, hi. Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour.
Bonjour,
Bonjour.
monsieur. Canadien. Okay,
Yes.
yes, so we will start with some questions that we collected from chat. Just waiting for the first one to pop up. Obivana, what a cool name. Obivana asks, is voice chat available in game? You want to
Yes.
answer that maybe?
Yes.
Okay, spoilers.
Next
yes.
one.
Yes. Well, it's proximity chat, right? So it's like
It's proximity chat. It'll be so you'll have to enable it. Basically, it'll be disabled.
And
by
mine will
default,
be
but you can
off
go
every
in
time I
and
play
enable
because
it.
I can't be having that shit on my stream.
all right.
People say ridiculous
There we
stuff
go.
in proximity
yes,
chat.
they're all easy like this.
I'm pretty sure some people are like, no, it should be enforced at all times. You know, like other games have it like a death count, like if you kill someone and
I can already
opens
say
up the
yes to this
microphone.
question because I'm playing
Yeah,
the
that
closed
would be
beta
right.
on a controller and it works
Yannick
great.
Man
They've got full
asked,
controller
will we
support
have
already in the
controller
beta.
support on release?
Yes, I think Steam says partial control support.
It's
but
full.
yes, the game was built with controller in
Yeah,
mind.
it's already
so
in
this
closed
is
beta.
one of the things when the UI UX director got on board. That was one of the core.
Like they even already have the
directions
tutorials
that
in
he was
game for
giving on that
like
he was
I've
given
played
from-
100%
from
controller.
the product. So
It
we
will
really
be
want
coming
to
out
have
on
really
PS5
good
and Xbox
controller
Series
support.
X
So you
later,
can pick up your
United, but it's
your
PC
controller
first.
and play everything.
But I
Because
can. I
product
already
market
played
fit,
on the
and also
controller, and
because
it's
way
it's
easier
great.
to design for PC
I played on my
mouse and
Xbox
keyboard than it
controller.
is for controller. So doing that first and get it out of the way.
Dune Awakening,
Quite smart
Thandar.
move.
That's what we're
Yeah,
watching is
something
the
like
I sometimes
portion of
prefer
the live
playing it
stream
on
from
controller
yesterday.
because then you get the rumble as well.
From the one
There's no
specific
timeline
one,
for
too.
the
It
Xbox
actually
and
freaked me
PS5
out because
release, so
I hate. I'm
I
sorry,
would
but
have
I don't
preferred
like
to
playing
play it on my
controller.
Xbox Series
I'm a
X,
mouse and keyboard
but
player
since they're
through and
launching on
through for
PC
any
first,
genre.
I'm like, screw it, I'll just play it on PC.
But I had my controller connected
Since I
and
can
on
play it on the
site,
controller.
and a warm, yeah, and it
I
started
probably
like,
would
and
have
it freaked
passed
me
if
out.
it
It
was
was a
mouse
great
and
moment. I was
keyboard
like,
only.
really on brand too for the
Yeah,
worm. So
exactly.
yeah. Shadow Thoughts asks, are contracts forced co-op or can I do them solo?
Can do everything solo. Like 99.9% of the game can be done solo. We've seen people in the beta doing spice harvesting solo.
Oh,
Like flying the transportopter with the harvester, going out, driving the harvester, coming back, taking
It's
the thing.
definitely more
Yeah,
work.
so it's a
definitely
lot
not
more
as
work.
efficient.
Everything
Like,
can be done solo, but not
mentioned
everything is
that too, but you
efficient.
can,
So,
yes.
but yes, 100%.
yes. Oh, Xpades. I hope I didn't butcher that name. If I did, I apologize. How big is Deep Desert? Is it still going to be several zones, meshes, or is population going to be smaller than we expected?
I think we answered this.
Yeah, he just talked
So-
about this a
Did
few
you?
minutes ago.
Yeah, we did just before you came. It's well, you can do the repeats then.
Go for it. Let's see if you see the
Just
same
what
thing
he
as
s-
us.
what he
Yeah,
said,
I should
what
have.
he
I
said.
should have watched the thing when you were talking.
What
Well, the glitter is big. I think it's 576 square kilometer or something like this. But I don't have much more to say if you already talked about it, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at the other question. Is population going to be smaller than we expected? I don't know. What are people expecting? I don't
I am
know.
not really sure either.
I thought
Is
about
population going
1,000
to be
player
smaller
or
than we
something like
expected?
this. So.
I mean, we've said several hundreds, right?
We said several hundreds.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's still the case.
Yes.
Um,
And yes, it's
we'll
several
see
zones.
if
There's several servers stuck together. You can
Yeah.
cross them seamlessly, and but yeah, it's a vast open sand area with the little tidbits here and there, right? So it's big. It's really big.
it's a lot of little tips.
Yes.
So it's Viz LA asks, will Haga Basin be full PvP?
No.
Nope.
We did touch on that a little bit when we talked about the shipwreck and the Imperial testing stations. So you will have full PvE areas where you can't be attacked whatsoever. Also important, your base in Haga Basin won't be able to be attacked.
I'm already
as long
playing
as
it with the
it's
controller
shield up,
Dribrom
it
in
won't
closed beta, and I
straight
use
either.
my Xbox
Yes.
controller
Haga
via
Basin is mostly
Steam.
98%
So I'm
PvE.
assuming
The
since
Deep
I can use my
Desert is-
Xbox
But you
controller,
have
you
to
could also
shipwreck.
use your PS5
PvP.
controller.
And you have to
It's
shipwrecks
different.
then.
And
But
we
it
have
does
to
have full
shipwreck.
controller
Yeah.
support
Yeah.
even right now.
Dip your toe if
All
you
the
want to.
tutorials are there for the controllers and
The-
everything.
I guess you talked about it in your stream as well. The places in Haga Basin that are PvP are the shipwrecks,
Yeah, exactly.
except for the
yes.
first one.
Except for the first one, yes.
Correct.
I can't speak specifically to the PS5 controller,
Just to
but I do
ease
know the
people into
Xbox
things.
controller
Also,
works
we
great.
actually the one
and it has a
we
tutorial
entered
system
was
already in the
actually
game for it.
One of the smaller ones.
And
Yeah,
it's
it
a
was super
seamless
tiny.
transition
Yeah,
between
I
mouse
wanted
and
to say that. I
keyboard
forgot earlier, but
and
There you go.
controller. So like if you move the mouse, it immediately switches over to the mouse and keyboard stuff, and then as soon as you touch your controller, it switches back over.
Small one.
It's beautiful
Kendall did
support.
like half of
Works
it,
great.
So yeah, just,
Mixer is asking, there will be timers for bases to decay like in Conan Exiles?
Yes. So we have some decay mechanics in the for the bases. So as long as your base is powered, it is shielded, and as long as it's powered and shielded, you can't destroy it. I think you mentioned it as well.
Yes.
So then, as long as you do that, that's fine, and you can fuel your base up right now in the beta for weeks and leave and then come back again.
So if you go on vacation, you can plan for that. specifically.
Yeah, you can plan for that.
I think it's 21 days or something like this.
Yes.
But yeah, and then
But once the shield goes down, the sandstorm will start tearing at your base, etc., etc. So yes,
Yes.
and there's two types of sub thieves, but I don't want to go into this. I think you're gonna have a stream later about
We're
this.
going to have a
Yeah.
building stream specifically where we talk about...
Sweet.
yeah.
We'll have to pay attention to
it's
that
not going to be
upcoming
like
stream.
in Conan, but we have something
No.
similar to make sure that we get rid of things when people leave the game for too long.
And it's also easier to abandon your base too. Like
Yeah,
just
yeah,
if you want to
absolutely.
move and because we have a set limit of how many bases you can have.
Mhm.
So it's also we have a lot of quality of life things there.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
also thanks to a lot of the beta testers, by the way, for their input.
Shout
on
outs.
this.
Shout outs to the better players.
Absolutely. Salty Scrampy, love that name too.
Salty
People have such
Scrampy.
amazing names. It's
Salty
like Salty
Scrampy.
Scrampy from Twitch asks, can
It's
you
not
build,
crampy.
can you build anywhere?
Oh, the answer is kind of yes. We have places in the game that we made sure that we have what we call no building volumes, because we don't want players to go build on like the Atreides fortress and then build a base on it, you know? We don't want players to build inside or around a trade post and on main roads to make sure that people don't block. But yes, you can build anywhere, including on the sand. Just
like-
don't do it. Just is like,
It's like,
when you place the sub-thief, it's Halsman tech. It attracts the worm instantly. So you can build on the sand, but Shai Hulud is gonna num at your base.
yeah, if you feel very spicy, you can try to build on the sand.
And
see
it
what
happens
happens.
to a lot of players. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
they have
players
that
in the
same
beta
It
who
happens
Octane
build on the
to
system
sand.
our developers too.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
saw.
It's
I
a server
post
load
recently
thing
somewhere
for
and I was
sure. Making
Like,
sure
we're
that
my
supposed
there's
base?
to build on Slack.
not
Where's my
continual
base?
server
Where's
load
my
if
base
people aren't
now?
playing
Well,
the game anymore.
just check your log.
Mr.
Destroyed by
Chompy.
Shai Hulud. Oh, yeah, here we
Mr.
go.
Chompy got
Yeah,
it, yes.
exactly.
Dani Loabella on YouTube asks, are there wind traps like the ones in Dune 2000?
There are wind traps.
But not like in the one in Dune 2000. We have
We have
so-
our own wind traps.
No, but yes, yes, but no.
Yes, but
I'm not
no.
exactly sure. Yeah, we have our own wind traps that is more in line with the movies.
I think they look very cool, by the way.
Yes.
I just really
Yeah,
like how they look.
And they're really useful when you have a base.
Yes. Very
Oh
much so.
yes,
Very
100%.
efficient too.
Oh yes.
Yes. Football goat, like we had with the names, love it, on YouTube asks, can you attack from the ornithopter?
Yes, you can. The ornithopters can be equipped with a rocket launcher module.
You can even stand on the ornithopter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was reading the question. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
you
what
can also kind of like it's a sandbox game, so you can like Shiga Warrior Claw
Yes.
and stand on top of a topter
Yes.
with the last gun
Yes.
and weep.
We
Yes.
did that in a playtest internally.
Yes.
Alex, one of our combat designers, or the combat designer basically, he told us, get on the battle bus. Everyone got a
Get on the battle bus.
the battle
Get on
bus.
the battle bus. I love
So
that.
it was basically a
Get on the battle
transport
bus.
ornithopter with
Yep.
5 people on top with like las guns and
That's something Alex would do.
miniguns.
Absolutely, 100%. Yes.
It was
So you
fun.
kind of, I guess, yes, you can attack from the ornithopter.
You can attack with the ornithopter
Yes.
and you can
And-
attack from
and
the
from.
ornithopter as well.
Exactly.
Yes, 100%.
Oh, one thing worth mentioning, I don't know if it's been mentioned before, but you can also attack from seated vehicles if it's open.
Yes, if it's open windows.
Yeah, also, if you sit in a buggy, you can pew pew with your guns when the other one is.
It's the same, yes, and you also have guns equipped on the buggy too.
Yep.
So, yeah,
is
lots
pretty
of
cool.
options. Mr. Webco on Twitch asks, will there be different
Yes.
types of ground
Yes,
and
there already are
surface?
different types.
Yes.
Yes, 100%. We have
Tons
the,
of different
we call them
ones,
ground
different
cars, but
sizes.
yeah,
ground
we have
cars, yes.
we have the sandbag, the buggy.
Yeah, there's the buggy, there's
Yeah.
transporters, there's
Ornithopter.
ornithopters,
And of
there's
course,
transport
the harvester.
ornithopters,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
harvester.
And
we
we
have-
have all different kinds of flying vehicles too,
Yeah.
including the transport ornithopter.
Transport up there.
And the cool thing, because like we have flying vehicles of different sizes as well, like classes.
Yeah.
So some of them can have passengers and not some of them can't. But
Oh,
in
that's another
addition to
thing.
that,
Yeah, you
it's
can
all
have
modular.
passengers in some of your
So you
vehicles.
can kind of
It's
tune
kinda
it
cool.
to your own experience or whatever you want. So I was driving around with the buggy.
Yeah,
one
United,
day
when
and
this
then we
whole
swapped
thing
the
comes
back
together and
seats
they've got this
for
out on PC
a
and
minor
consoles, I
example.
think we're going to see
Or
a
the
very
two-person
interesting.
ground vehicle as well. Like you can have an extra
It's-
seat for your friend.
As
or
all the
we
crossplay
saw
stuff
that in
comes
videos
together,
before.
it's going to be
Or you
pretty
can have
cool.
Yeah, Camille, when he was playing earlier, he had a boost and a scanner.
I'm assuming it's going to have
you can do a lot of
crossplay.
things.
Yeah, you can
Yep.
just customize it like you want it to be.
I believe Joel has answered that
Alrighty.
in a stream. Oh, here's a console question.
Ooh, that's difficult to pronounce. Oh dear God. Skomazo? No,
Just
wait,
answer
hang on.
the
One.
question.
That's a one at the end.
Xomaze 1.
Oh,
Xomaze 1.
SXOmaze 1.
Yes.
I'll do it that. I apologize if I butchered your name. On Twitch asks, is there any information for when Dune comes to consoles?
Not
No.
right now,
Not right now.
Not yet.
Not yet.
but it is coming. That's what
Yes,
Yes,
it is
absolutely.
coming.
Mondem007 ask, can speak to private server purchases. Oh, okay. So
Like Conan Exiles.
we are still, we know that private servers is something that the community really wants, the player really want. We know it's very important for the role-playing community specifically.
Yep.
There's a lot of things that go into decisions and technical aspects when it comes to private servers. There's how much can you mod them, can we allow it to be modded, but then especially our server structure is somewhat complicated and it needs to be taken into consideration for that as well. So at this point, we are very aware that people want it and we are actually looking into options to potentially be able to do it, but we can't really promise or say anything specific at this point.
Nope.
All right. EcoDad75, again, fantastic name, on Twitch asks, how frequently will the DLCs come out?
There is information about the time frame for them on Steam, I believe.
I think,
So
yes.
it's
Yes.
every 3 to 4 months.
I think.
That
Yep.
cadence, yes.
I haven't
Also, I
looked at the
think
schedule yet.
What's
so
important
I don't
to
know.
mention here, because we mentioned Season Pass, right?
Hmm.
In the, we mentioned Season Pass in our business model part. And it's important to mention, this is the name that Steam gives DLC bundles. So that has nothing to do with Battle Pass or anything like that. It's really just what Steam calls the bundles for the DLCs. That's why they're called Season Pass on our end as well.
Yep.
Coverture asks, what happens when you are kill someone within PvP? Do you prop everything? Are bodies fully lootable?
First, you swear a little bit.
First you swear, that's the first thing that happens.
I definitely will.
Then you
like a
respawn, then you try to get
berserker.
back to your corpse, and then you hope that the other is not there. But
Or
no, it's
you
not.
hope it's there.
Your hope is there, but no, it's not full loot PvP. In the game, you lose durability, you lose all your
Coins.
spice, all your the
Yep.
salary, resources, and things like that. There is a thing that can happen though in the game.
There is a thing that can happen that can modify.
That for 1 week.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think we're going to go
No.
deeper into it.
We talk about that. We talk
But
about that
by
later.
default, no full drop PvP.
No.
Yeah, there's no full drop. That's the most important thing.
Fist of the Walrus. Hey, I remember that name from Conan Exiles. Hello, shout out to Fist of the Walrus. Asked, important question, can you pet the worm?
From the inside, yes.
Pet
You can
my
tickle-
worm
you
anytime
can
you
tickle-
like.
You can
You
tickle,
can
the throat
tickle
from
the inside.
Yes, you can
and
tickle.
that's it. Well, I guess you can pet with just throwing darts with a gun, just to kind of like tickles a little bit.
Is that
Maybe that's
petting to
concerned
you?
with-
Like, is that what?
I don't know. Shayla doesn't really care about that.
Do you
so,
have pets?
know.
Do you have
No, I
pets,
don't.
Jeff? Oh, good.
I'm
Oh,
allergic,
yeah, okay.
so-
Good, good. Good. We're all glad Jeff doesn't have any pets.
They left me
Alright,
wide
cool.
open for
And I
that.
think this is the last question.
Maybe.
Yes. Moxter81 asks, what is the maximum size of guilds?
It's 32.
32
now. Yeah,
32
I think that's
now.
what's going to be.
Yes, because the servers are 40, and I think, or something like that.
32.
Really, you can have
It's
groups
like
of
4
groups.
groups, is it? Like, yeah.
So I can't
So it's
actually
32.
find any information on if
Yeah.
the season pass is going to have any monthly fees.
Also,
Joel
since
came out
we-
and just
it
said
didn't
flat
come
out
up,
the
but
game
we
is
can
buy to
probably
play.
mention it actively, since we
And then
saw
free to
like
play
Battle
after
Pass,
that.
Season Pass, and all that confusion. Again, Season
With
Pass
paid
is
DLCs.
what Steam calls the DLC bundles. We do not have a Battle Pass
Oh,
No.
in
No Battle
Dune Awakening.
Pass.
No
There you go.
Battle Pass.
There you go.
No in-game monetization
There you go,
of
right
any
there.
kind.
Correct.
they just answered the question that I was
Correct.
literally
Just so
on
we get that
Steam
out of
looking
the
at
way.
on my
Yes.
phone.
100%.
That was the last question.
So someone else
Oh,
had
that
asked
was
about the
easy.
Conan
That was
Exiles thing too.
exciting.
There's
That was
no
that was our first one
season.
on
There's no
Awakening.
battle
Yes.
pass with
Like,
this. No season
Pretty good.
pass.
Our first
So
Awakening
no
live stream.
monetization
There are a few
in-game
hiccups here and
whatsoever.
there, but hey, we
It
can
was
learn, we can
awesome.
improve. I mean, if it would have been
So it's
perfect,
buy
we
to
couldn't
play,
improve
free to
anymore, so
play,
we wouldn't
paid
want that either,
DLCs,
right?
which you can
So
pre-order
Exactly.
as
there's
part
more
of the pre-order
streams
packages.
coming
That's it.
down in the future. More opportunities to ask questions. Ole Andreas, Jeff, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank
Been a
you.
pleasure.
Pleasure.
Also to everyone who joined us today, either on Twitch, on YouTube, or
They're
on Steam.
listening.
On Steam. I think we are live on Steam as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you very much. And yes, I think goodbye for now until we see you in the next stream.
Which hopefully be soon. They cut the audio a little soon on that. So that is Dune Awakening. If you weren't already aware, so I've been covering this for a couple of years now, maybe 3 years on the channel, and I've shared some stuff from the closed alpha, which I've been having quite a bit of fun in. Um, if you want more information, you can go to their website, the Steam page. Pre-orders are now live, so you can go check those out, figure out which tier you want to get into. I do have previous coverage, so for those of you watching the stream right now, awesome. You'll go to their website and go to their Steam page, join the Discord. If you're watching this after the fact, there's the links down below, which go to their Steam page and have more information and my playlist of Dune Awakening stuff, so you can catch up on things that you wanted to know about. So you can check all that stuff out. I was really happy to see them address the controller support thing because I was actually said this. They've had some like one-on-ones with creators as we've been going through the closed beta, and one of the things I was very quick to congratulate the team on was that when I started playing last year, they already had full controller support in the closed beta even like last year, and I think it's because they've always planned that this is going to be a console release in the future. So from day one, they've had controller support in, and I was just like immediately like, oh, this is so cool. I can like pick up the controller, play, do this portion with the controller. Because one of the things I like to do when I play games is I like to play with the controller, but then if there's a building portion, I'll switch over to mouse and keyboard for the building, which is what I did with like Enshrouded, right? So I play the game, do the combat and the exploration and everything else with my controller, and then I get to the home base and it's time to build. I want the fine-tune controls of the mouse and keyboard so that I can use the mouse scroll wheel and zone in and out and everything else. So it's shaping up to be something really interesting. It is, for those of you who just want to know my opinion on things, it is not a narrative RPG, which is a kind of not. It's kind of out of my wheelhouse. I usually stick to narrative RPGs or story-based games. There is a story to it, but it is, especially if you've played Conan Exiles, you'll kind of recognize this. Funcom's structure is there is a story. There's a lot of environmental storytelling. There is some narrative storytelling here. There's some branching dialogue trees and stuff, but it is heavy on the crafting survival element, especially in the early stages of the game before you get your first still suit and you have to really stress about like the sun and water consumption. Anyway, there's a bunch of other videos on the channel, so I would say go check those out. Check out the links below. Um, for those of you watching this after the fact, because we're in the live stream right now on YouTube and Twitch. For those of you who are going to be sticking around, we're going to go push everyone over to my Shadow of the Road closed alpha first impressions video right now, which is about a 45 minute long playthrough. That game just went into alpha on Steam right now. It is a steampunk, feudal Japan fantasy RPG mixed with like realistic stuff. It's a top-down CRPG turn-based game published by Owlcat, who did Pathfinder Kingmaker, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, and Warhammer 40k Rogue Traded, which we've played and had a great fun with on the channel. They are now publishing games as well, and this is one of the games they are publishing. It just went into alpha today. I got a key provided to me by Owlcat, and we're going to go watch that playthrough right now. So just hang out for a few minutes, because what we're going to do right now is I'm going to go get that premiere ready to go over on YouTube, and then everybody's going to get a link that I'm going to drop in chat.